Good morning and thank you for having us. My name is McDonald Kumbra Unyoro and I represent the National Association of Youth Organizations where I'm the coordinator. I think when it comes to to the issue of media, again I go back to the Constitution. We have all those freedoms that enable us, especially as young people, to express ourselves. But then I think where the challenge becomes, you'd find that when you look at how media covers some of these issues, we hear less of the story of young people. It only becomes prominent, for example, when violence erupts, where it takes the headline. But we never get to hear the story of young people that come together and build a bridge in their community or restore roads that are filled with potholes. So I think when it comes to media, there is a need for it to try to dig deeper and look into, even within the current context, how are young people organizing? What are they pushing? What are some of the initiatives that they're doing? Because I think this story is told less. So we anticipate a media, that even partners with young people in terms of some of their work that they're doing. Because the more young people get to hear of what others are doing in community X, the more we have a ripple effect in terms of some of those initiatives and ideas cascading down.
My name is Rairo Bongo. I am an independent candidate running for the House of Assembly seat in Sekiru. It's only recently that we as Zimbabweans were able to express what we felt without being afraid. We all know when we had our president, the former president, Robert Mugabe, we were not allowed to say certain things. Hence, you'd find the disappearances of people like Itai Zamara, the abductions of people like Lida Masarira when they voiced out. So it's just recent that we have been able to express ourselves, to put our minds out on social media. Even in combis, it was a taboo for someone to mention the government or the ruling parties in our combi. And you'd get a thrashing. So as far as media is concerned, so far it's been okay. Since after the recent developments, the new dispensation, as we say, it has been all right. I've gotten to express whatever I want to say on my social media, though the state paper still is somehow still stuck back in the old dispensation. You'd find they cover the same stories they would cover. It's only the names that have changed. But social media and other organizations that use social media have tried so much to cover everyone in Zimbabwe and to put out everyone's views.
My name is Tawanda Kalunga. I'm the National Youth Chairperson for Transform Zimbabwe Party and also the Chairperson for NERA Youth Forum. The media in Zimbabwe, mostly the private media, publish most of our stories, especially when we are coming from the opposition fronts. But the state media only covers the ruling party. It has been like that since the Mugabe regime, and right now you can even witness what is happening. If you watch ZTV and other radio stations, they are only covering maybe the president. If they fail to get stories, they can even cover the wife of the president buying tomatoes. So but there are a lot of events happening outside. There are a lot of events happening by young people out there. There are a lot of events being done by organizations like NAYO and other youth organizations throughout the country, but they are not being covered. We only rely on private media and social media. That's why you see social media right now is more active, and young people are relying on that, and they don't even watch ZTV and other radio stations.
I think when it comes to media, the challenge is when we try to look at how the media, for example, has covered the work of young people in governance, we see less and less of the media covering some of these stories. meaning to say that there is more that can be done. Then I think the few media houses that have tried to tap and listen into the voice of young people, you'd also understand that they've also strengthened the work that young people are doing. Why? Because they've been able to make sure that that work gets an audience that is bigger than the audience in which that intervention is promoted. And also, just by that, mere media coverage, you'd also find that, especially for young people that are working in issues of governance, it has also allowed their work to bring in new partners, to bring in new initiatives, and also to challenge the narrative, which speaks and says that young people should not really take an active role when it comes to issues of governance. And I think that as we go, especially towards this election, there is also more that media can do to enable young people to stand for peace, to enable young people to run for office, and also to enable young people to take an active role when it comes to the different phases of the election cycle. For example, when you come to the nomination period, when you come to the period of inspecting the voters' roll, when you go into campaigning, etc. There's a lot that media can actually also be doing and tapping into to make sure that the gains that we've recorded so far in the significant number of youth that are registering, we also keep them and we actually have them.
I feel it's a welcome change. He's progressive for his generation and many he's working with. He's shown that he's progressive, and now he understands that for this nation to run, we have to go along global change, and technological solutions are the ones that are ruling now, not Takawana liberation struggle, but now we need solutions that will come through a different way. The modern solutions that we have are technological right now, and is embracing that. That is good.
Okay.
We'll see just if you'll be able to use that social media to implement its policies effectively. Social media and capacity.
The media reforms, the media actually affect us a lot, but we are relying on social media. Social media is helping us a lot because we managed to penetrate even to rural areas. Now, some people now do have WhatsApp groups. There are some on Facebook, so we are using the WhatsApp. But the state media actually it's not helping at all. The state media is not helping us at all. It actually disenfranchising young people. We are doing a lot of things. There are other organizations, and not only in politics, even in church, even there are a lot of people doing good things out there, but it's not being covered. As long as it is not associating with itself with ZANU-PF, it's not covered. So it's actually it's embarrassing. It's a shame to the country of like Zimbabwe, where we are going with a literacy rate of over 90%, which is one of the highest in Africa. So we don't expect that from the political new dispensation. The media is actually depriving us of our
constituents to be peaceful in this period of elections. I urge them to understand that in as much as poverty is hitting them, they shouldn't be lured by 50 cents, masupa, $5 for them to be violent towards a certain party or a certain candidate. That's not the way to go. For us youth to be respected, we have to earn it, and we have to show that we are ready to become leaders of a nation. We cannot be leaders of a nation when we behave like vagabonds and hooligans. It starts in the mind. So we have to change our mindset. Organizations like NAYA have been doing that. Other independent candidates like myself, Leader Masad, etc., a lot of them are advocating for youth, for peace. And that's one word that I want the youth of Zimbabwe today to really understand. Elections don't mean violence. Being a youth doesn't mean violence. We are being used for violence. Violence. No, violence. Even if teachers we don't use violence. let's use our minds, strategies and ideas. That is what youth